Hello and welcome everyone to of course that video we will learn about the units, basic formulas, and so let's start with the instruments, and basic it again see some basic formulas like length, mass, volume, and density so you can also see their conclusion. As a mechanical design you need to know everything about them, about the convergence. There are some different tones like you have never heard about 1000. But this dome of land is used by these machines. So these kinds of we don't dummies you also need to know, and what the means of the basic formula. That means that the base of every industry but all the other forms another life, pressure, temperature. Bubble, food, sport, these are dependent upon the industry you are choosing, their suppliers you are entering. And sheet metal industry they will find units later to give by formulas than the leaves ordinary bend. If you are entering and more the casting industry you will find contraction alongside all the different formulas. So in short what I mean to say here that you need to learn the basic formula first and then you will need to learn another formulas depending upon the industry you are entering, and these formulas should be accurate that they take. You can see the form selected as less than it conclusions. Power is out only later when you're renting and machine designing branch or you are entering in the equipment plumbing. These kinds of competitive numbers you need only when you are entering an equipment planning and design. So you need to learn them according to the requirement of your industry and these formulas get to. So let's start with the measuring instrument. Plus we have an infinite against here it's analog caliber and already we are using digital. But in getting bodies used to measuring their depth, diameters, internal diameters, distance, centered distance. And circular it again see the least candle burning, but it is maybe you'll burn 1002 depending on the division. If there are any division then the least count will be the one, the quantity the least on will be 0. Actually as a mechanical designer you need to know the complete use of these instrument and also everything about these instrument. Next we have micrometer. We use it to measure the thickness of the sheet and the gauges and the diameter device and small objects. Again at least on the 0.01. If that is under the vision now we can see that it is only 50 division. That means 72.0 to the least. You can see the better projector better prepared used for measuring the angle between two surfaces. By using these light and yes least count has less applicable because it is neglecting that less we have no need. Hired gaze is very similar to phonetically but only it is acting in vertical direction so we can measure it with the help of the distance, the diameter and the spherical radius and the height of the object. Yet again see the depth to gauge which is again very similar to the caliper. All these least consistent also very similar with this is the delegates that are used to gauge. It is mostly used for measuring the roughness of these surfaces and for checking it out, but in Julian day it has another application. Indeed it equals I will teach you how it is used in measuring cylinders UTF blackness and circularity. It is the water gauge. It is a quality testing is not a measuring instrument. It you can see this person is using their gaze. Checking for dyes. Same Walter it again to see the 3D cannabis used in producing the model of these kinds of complex objects. This is used in reverse engineering. This is the latest technique using an index that is can see the radius gate that is used to measure the radius or inner surfaces. This is for outer radius hit again see targets gate. Actually this is a normal measuring instrument. It is a checking instrument or detecting instrument. We use it for internal effects, so this for internal tracks and for external tracks. This is also a quality testing gauge and automated instrument. We use it for picking bits and pieces for life. And these are standardized gates. This is also the standardized keys and used for external affairs. This is used for internal thread that's layers known as plug gauges, and this is known as ring-it hiragana. See the sign, but it's again not the quality testing gates used for checking the angle would be 50. 830 to 45. Excel. So what are you testing? Dinning squares use with taking the appendix letter D of a set basis. So this is the list of some of the measuring instrument of which are very useful. There are another instrument rule that is according to the different industries so very valuable to them in their respective fields. So this is the end of this lecture.